This video demonstration will go over the steps for sharing your calendar as well as setting the calendar permissions for your Outlook calendar. First, you will need to be within the calendar view of Microsoft Outlook. To do this, you will need to click on the calendar button in the lower left corner of Outlook. Once you have gotten there, you will need to look at the top of the screen in the ribbon section. You'll notice there's a section titled Share. Right above it, you'll notice several buttons. The button that you will need to select is the calendar permissions. Click on that once, and you will see the permission settings for your calendar. You should notice that there may be some names already listed under the permissions. By default, you should have the default as well as the anonymous. The default user is the setting that will apply for every person that comes across your calendar or that accesses your calendar. You can also specify which specific user has designated access to your calendar. But first, we will start with the default user setting. So first, click on the default user once to highlight it, and then go below to the permissions settings section. You'll notice that there is a permissions level drop-down box. Click on the drop-down box and you will see several levels of permissions that you can set for the default user. For this example, I have this one selected for reviewer. You'll notice that there are several other details for this specific permission level. For instance, under the Read section, the reviewer can only view the full details of my calendar. Notice that under the Write section, none of the options here are selected. For deleting items, none is selected, which means that the default user is not able to delete items from my calendar. And lastly, under the Other section, the option selected here, Folder Visible, means that they are able to see my calendar. If I were to select another permission level, such as Editor, notice that the options listed beneath for Read, Write, Delete Items, and Other have changed. Notice under the Write section, the Editor permission level can create items as well as edit everything in your calendar. And under Delete Items, the Editor permission level allows the user to be able to delete all calendar items. They can view the full details and as well also view the folder. So for this example, I'm going to switch my default user permission level to reviewer. Once I'm satisfied with that setting, select Apply at the bottom. And if you're done with the settings, click OK. Now, if you would like to designate specific users to have additional access to your calendar, click on the Add button, and you'll notice that the global address list will open, and you can type in the name of a user for whom you would like to designate special permissions in your calendar. Once you've selected that user, press Enter and then click OK. Now you will notice that the user's name has now populated in your permissions list. Once you have that name selected, you can adjust the permission level to any of the levels that are available in the drop-down box. For this example, I will set this user to have editor rights to my calendar. If you do not wish to share your calendar at all, select the default user. In the permissions level, click on the drop-down box and select None. Here you will notice under the Read, Write, Delete Items, and Other sections, these settings reflect that no one will be able to read the calendar, write to your calendar, or delete items from your calendar. They'll only be able to see that you do have a calendar. But as far as making any adjustments to your calendar, that won't be possible using the None permission level setting. So for this example, I will switch my default user back to reviewer. And once I'm satisfied with all of my permission settings for my calendar, I will select Apply and then OK. What you have just seen is a demonstration on how to share your calendar as well as set the permissions level settings for your calendar.